This is the 2025 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport L. Is it the right trim level for you? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Holmes Honda in Shreveport, Louisiana to give you the particulars on this model. It has an exterior color of meteorite gray metallic and a black interior. If you want to know more about it, check out the link down in the description of the video to the Holmes Honda website. And as we take a look at the lighting here on the front end, you're going to notice that flickering effect. That's not really happening. The only reason you see it that way is to do with my camera. These GoPros tend to just not like those LEDs very much. That's why it's doing that. You have LED daytime running lights and LED headlights, and there are no fog lights regardless of trim level on the CR-V or whether you go hybrid or non-hybrid. Obviously there's room to add them. We'll just have to see if Honda does that in the future, because I know a lot of you would like to see that. You will have an active air curtain right here. It's not just a faux vent. It's not just there for cosmetic looks. It actually allows air to flow through the front end to improve aerodynamics. This model comes in front-wheel drive, but all-wheel drive is available if that's something you want. You have a combination of gloss black body color and matte black here on the front end in multiple different areas. And how about your driving aids, those safety features that are known as Honda Sensing? When you put all that together, you have adaptive cruise control, road departure mitigation braking, collision mitigation, lane keeping assist, traffic jam assist. It's all here. And you know that this is a front-wheel drive CR-V hybrid. How about your tire and wheel size? 235 on your width, a 60 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch wheels. Your side view mirrors have gloss black mirror caps, turn signal indicators built in. They are manually folding. As of right now, we don't have any power folding side view mirror options for the CR-V, but you will have power adjustable heated side view mirrors, and your blind spot information system is built in right there. And how about your remote? Well, let's turn around and take advantage of the sun that is at our backs right now. There is what it looks like. You have remote start, panic button, lock and unlock. You can open and close your power tailgate right there. And it is a proximity key with the walkaway features. Roof rails up top. And we'll get back here and find LED tail lights on the rear. The Sport logo, obviously CR-V hybrid over here on the left. And while they are basically faux vents, you do have, or I should say outlets, exhaust outlets, you do have them here. That's not a bad thing. At least it gives it a nice look. In fact, let me give you a little bit of a closer look as to what we have. You can see that it's not really an outlet, but in my personal opinion, it just makes the rear bumper look a little better as opposed to not having them at all. This CR-V Hybrid Sport L gets down the road thanks to a combination of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and 2 electric motors. Combined, all of that puts out 204 horsepower and 247 pounds-feet of torque. It is mated to an eCVT. And let's go take a look at our window sticker so we can see the MPGs. I hope this shows up okay, but I'll give it to you anyway just to help out. 43 miles per gallon city, 36 highway, 40 combined, and 2.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. The gas door is lockable, so when you lock the interior, this locks as well. It does have capless fuel fill, and it's a 14-gallon gas tank. Total, you can drive about 560 miles from a full tank of gas, 34 miles estimated on battery only. To gain access to your cargo space, you have a power tailgate, and you have a maximum of 76.5 cubic feet of cargo space. I have everything maximized so you can see how it looks with the rear seats folded down. You do have some cargo lighting. Nice that it's on both sides. Some vehicles out there only have it on one side, so nice to see that. Also, your hangers right here for bags. You'll also find a 12-volt power outlet. The only thing you won't find back here to consider is that there is no spare tire underneath the floor. Just one of those things that you run into with a lot of hybrid models. I think it would be good to see more automakers make some adjustments so that it is possible to have a spare tire whether you go hybrid or non-hybrid. Tell me what your thoughts are. And let's see what your rear passengers are going to find. You do have a black interior, but you do have some orange contrast stitching to help break that up a little bit. A nice large armrest, and one thing I like about this is, unlike the back seat of some vehicles, the entirety of this area is flat instead of this area maybe being angled a little bit. That just makes a difference, at least in my opinion. We'll also have a nice bottle holder right here, door bin, a little bit of a combination. Now right here you can see that I have one side of this 60-40 split rear seat area folded, or excuse me, leaned back, reclined back. You do have quite a bit of recline built into these seats. In fact, I'll show you, you can go back a little bit further, quite a few different settings there depending on what your rear seat passengers want to have. There is a rear seat pocket only on the passenger side over here, nothing on the driver's side. Probably not that big of a deal. But the thing that I know a lot of owners want with their vehicles these days are not only air conditioning vents for rear seat passengers, but also USB connectivity. So you will find that here on the Hybrid Sport L trim level, and you'll find a conventional size sunroof and have the shade right there that you can manually move back and forth in or out of place. And that sunroof does tilt and slide open. And what about the sticker price? $38,700 is the price. Let's see what else you get beyond what I've already shown you. We're going to have plenty of space with the door bins here with our front doors. Typical of most vehicles, you're going to have the largest door bins in the front. 2 settings for seat memory here on the driver's side. I would like to see that on the passenger side as well. Even at the price point of this CR-V, I think that's still realistic to offer that at the very least. And we'll move back over here real quick. Everything to control your power mirrors right here. You can determine which mirror you're controlling or just put that in the middle if you want to. Pretty easy to deal with. I think you know what else is here. I probably don't need to tell you too much about that. Traction control, and you can open and close your power tailgate right there. The lever right here, you can drop that to adjust your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And then we have multiple options of different things we can go through if we need to look at whatever it is we need to see, whether it's navigation or whatever we see right there. And all I'm doing is using the scroll wheel right here. If I want to select something, I just push on that. Your steering wheel mounted controls over here is everything for adaptive cruise control. And if you want to, you can actually go into more regular cruise control aside from adaptive cruise control if you don't want to use that. And you also have what look like shifter paddles right here. Those are actually for adjusting the regenerative braking on this vehicle. We have over here the controls for our headlights and tail lights. You can put that on auto if you want to, whatever you'd like to do. Turn those on, turn them off. And you also control your blinkers to let people around you know what you're doing. Imagine the novelty of doing that for those who do. They're greatly appreciated. And our front and rear window wipers are controlled right here. One thing I'm always curious about is, what do you think about the size of the touchscreen right here? This is the 9-inch screen. I know in the pilots, a lot of people tell me that 9 inches is too small. Do you think that's too small here for the CR-V? Always curious to know. Now, we do have quite a bit going on here, but it's very simplistic. Easy to learn, easy to use. If you want to go through and make changes to what's going on with the vehicle, you can. And here's a nice little tip for you. If the power tailgate is not opening when you're trying to use the power feature, go right here and you can turn it on or off depending on what you want to do. Now, if the battery does die on the vehicle for some reason, you can still open it manually. It's not going to be a problem. So that's how that works. Very easy to deal with. We also have our power flow meter right here that gives us a lot of good information when driving around as far as your range and all that good stuff. Pretty easy to figure out, easy to deal with. And you can wirelessly pair your smartphone here using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto if you so choose to. So that's very nice to be able to do that. I don't have an Android device to show you, but well, basically the same thing. No matter whether you use Android or Apple, both wireless, no big deal. Heated seats for the driver and the passenger, both are power adjustable. You'll have your dual zone climate control here in the front seating area. You'll also find connectivity in the way of a couple of USB options. And here is the second of the two 12-volt power outlets. One thing that I've come to think about with these models is the fact that you have one wireless phone charger right here. It's possible that this could be moved over just a little bit. There's not a lot of space to work with, but I think there could be room potentially for 2 wireless chargers right there. We're starting to see that in a few more vehicles out there, but just something to think about. What would you like to do with that? Would you like to see that as an available option? And you'll see the multi-view rear view cameras. Personally, one thing I would like to see Honda offer, if you have looked at the current generation of the Honda Pilot, whether it's the Trail Sport or the Elite, you'll notice there are a lot more camera views, really front, side, and rear all over the vehicle. So depending on what you want, well, you could take advantage of that if it was available here. I wonder what everybody thinks about that. And you've got Hill Start Assist, you've got your power parking brake, brake hold mode, and right here, you can go through our different driving modes. Let's see what we have here. Now this is going to be actually where they start. It's going to default to normal when you turn the ignition off. We also have Econ, Snow, and you saw that we have Sport up here. And when I say that it defaults back to normal, when you turn the ignition off, if you were in Sport mode, for example, when you turn the vehicle back on, it's going to go back to normal. I think it would be better, in my opinion, if it would stay in the mode that it was in when you turn the ignition off. Cup holders right here. We have the lid for the center console that doubles as an armrest. That works decently well. And we also have plenty of space within the center console itself. With our upper console, we're going to find the sunglass holder. You can control the power sunroof right there as far as that goes. Depending on what you need to do, you can tilt it open or slide it open. You have your map lights and everything else there. A rear view mirror. It's not a camera mirror. That's something else that maybe would be a good thing to add in the future on the CR-Vs. We're seeing that on other Honda models, so it would be nice to see that available maybe on all Honda models within the next couple of years. And we also have plenty of space within the glove box right there. And let's take a quick test drive in the CR-V Hybrid Sport L. In my opinion, you have a nice, smooth ride quality. That's one of the things I like to tell people. Get out and drive these vehicles for yourself, because my thoughts may vary from what you think. Get in the vehicle and you might say, well, you underplayed it, Tom. It's much smoother than you said it was. Or you might go in the opposite direction with it. It just depends on what you're used to. That's one thing about it. But just something to consider where that's concerned. Obviously a very maneuverable vehicle, easy to get around, a nice tight turning radius, great for big city driving and other big city related situations where you may have tight confines, whether it's in parking lots or whatever the case is where that is concerned. So it's really good with that kind of thing. And the fact that it's also available with all-wheel drive definitely makes a big difference. That's for sure, because for those of you who may live in an area where you get a lot of snow, more out of the year than not, that is definitely useful to you. And you saw your driving modes earlier and what will be helpful to you when those times come, whether it's snow and ice or whatever the situation is you're dealing with. A very well-rounded vehicle and very capable of being used in a multitude of situations. Plenty of room. Now I'm 5'10", so obviously I can't tell you for sure what it would be like to fit in here for a driver who may be well over 6 feet tall, but I feel sure that the seat could be adjusted for the driver to make it very comfortable. I'm pretty sure that somebody well in excess of 6 feet tall could fit here just fine. No big deal. You can obviously adjust the steering wheel however you want to, adjust the seat. There's a lot of ability, or should I say availability, for adjustment. So that's always a good thing to note. And obviously you have all of your different driving features and driving aids is probably the thing I should say. But the thing about those driving aids, one thing that's different here compared to some Honda models of years gone by is that you won't find they're as aggressive as they once were. Now you can adjust that. You can go into your infotainment screen and make adjustments to that if something is too aggressive for you. But I just don't see that being a problem here as far as comparing to some of the older Honda models, previous generations. Just something to think about. And I like the fact that the technology is very easy to learn and use. Responsiveness, not a problem as far as getting down the road and getting up to speed when you need to, if you're merging into fast-moving traffic on the interstate or wherever you may be. Or if you just need to pass a slower-moving vehicle and do so in a quick manner. When you change driving modes and you go into, say, sport mode, you're not going to notice a tremendous difference, but you will feel a little bit of a difference as far as the engine will rev up a little bit higher, a little bit quicker, I should say, really. But ultimately, That quicker revving means that you can get up to speed a little bit faster. Not a major difference where that's concerned, but obviously there are going to be some noticeable differences there that should help you out where that kind of thing is concerned. And speaking of moving around slower moving traffic, well, let's do that because the speed limit in this area is 55 miles per hour. And I'm not even at 55 miles per hour and easily passing that Ford F-150 that was over there and we just passed. So that's nice to know. You don't have to work that hard to do it. Very well-rounded vehicle, easy to see out of, but keep in mind, while you really don't have any issues with visibility, you also have your blind spot information system in both mirrors to help you out to know what's going on around you. And not only will you see that indicator flashing and letting you know, or lighting up and letting you know that there's something next to you when you turn your blinker on, or whatever the case is, it can let you know if something's there regardless. But you also will have that indicator that dings at you. You might have heard that just a second ago when the medic unit in front of us passed. A lot of good things here. So tell me what you think about the 2025 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport L. Is it the right trim level for you? Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you would like to see that maybe isn't here as of right now. We'll have to see what comes in the future with the CR-V. If you're surprised that there's no changes for 2025, well, think about this. It usually takes about 5 years to see that happen with an automotive manufacturer. So we're not going to see that again for the next couple of years. We might see a refresh in the next year or two, maybe some changes to the front end, some equipment additions. We'll just have to see what happens. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this CR-V for the day so I could tell you all about it, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.